Nothing gets movie fans talking like an action-packed trailer, which means the first public look at an upcoming film really can mean the difference between a runaway blockbuster and a box office disappointment. It's not all that shocking that movie trailers, just like movie posters, have become an exact science, with the same colors, poses, and tricks being used by every major studio. But once you take a closer look at blockbuster trailers, you may be surprised at just how similar they really are. Here are Screen Rant's 5 ways movie trailers are all the same. The Foghorn. You have to give credit to Christopher Nolan for working a major plot point of Inception into the trailers. The action is set to the booming music of Mind Heist, a song drawing on the booming notes used as a countdown by the movie's Dream Thieves. Audiences didn't know what to make of it, but rival studios didn't need to find out before following suit. It wasn't just the Mind Heist blasts that were stolen immediately, but the structure of the sequence as a whole. We can hear the same sounds in the trailers for the Avengers,
We get ready.
G.I. Joe 2, Prometheus, and Transformers 3. These days, it's hard to find a trailer that doesn't flip from black screens to random action beats to drive the second half of a trailer home, which means movie fans might have completely forgotten there was ever a time before the Inception boom.
It's called Inception.
The bass drop. The popularity of ear-splitting horns, massive explosions, and out-of-control electro rock in most blockbuster trailers came at a price. With so much going on, it was hard to actually keep up the tension or suspense. The solution was brilliant, but it was obvious. Drop everything back down to silence just to build it all the way back up. But how do you pull that off and make it seem cool? How about an electronic bass drop as if the power has been cut? It's not even funny how quickly movies raced to steal this other trick, and used it in the exact same way. In the Mad Max Fury Road trailer, it can be heard near the start. The Furious 7 trailer obviously took notes from its predecessors, and Hunger Games joined in with a nice touch near the middle. Whether it's leading into a slow-mo tease, a cryptic tagline, or spoiling the most epic moment of the film, you apparently can't get there without dropping the bass beforehand. How else will audiences know what they're looking at is supposed to be awesome? The ominous voiceover. Knowing that a movie trailer will turn into a frantically cut roller coaster by the end, studios know they've got to start quiet, so the loudest moments feel even louder. What better way to open than with random lines of dialogue without any real context, preferably spoken over somber strings, low rumbles, or single high-pitched musical notes.
I'll take that from them first.
We can also see this happening in the trailers for Avatar, Man of Steel.
You always have to wake up.
I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason.
X-Men Days of Future Past,
Side by side to end this war.
Terminator Genesis,
We die tonight.
and TMNT.
Crime, violence, and fear have run rampant.
The origin of this trick is easier to understand, since single lines of dialogue really can sum up a movie's themes, getting audiences to use their imagination. But when every other movie decided that disembodied lines divided by unnatural pauses were better than actually showing the scene in question, the move became a meaningless one. The montage. There may have been a time when a single scene, stunt, or just assorted settings would sell an audience on the action in store, but at some point, movie studios decided it was better to tease every dollar of the film's budget in one frantic montage. Set either before or after the Foghorn sequence, this montage can be filled with characters screaming, shaky cam footage, close-ups of the hero and villain in combat, you name it. It's this part of the trailer that can be the most irritating to fans trying to avoid spoilers, since a closer look at a split-second cut can reveal entire twists and plot points, leaving viewers to wonder why the studio would spoil some of the best moments. In Star Trek Into Darkness, the Foghorn Symphony starts to set the mood for what's coming. The same happens in Iron Man 3 when the Foghorns stop and the montage starts. Fellow Avenger movie Thor: The Dark World followed the trend.
There is darkness, and it has survived.
Thor, your bravery will not ease your pain.
Selling the movie is still the top priority, but even if the franchise is a guaranteed blockbuster, this strict trailer formula demands some things get spoiled months ahead of time. The Final Gag. Once the trailer has opened calmly, built to its first crescendo, dropped the bass back to zero, then built to a Foghorn-filled montage of assorted action, probably leading into the movie's official title, there's still something missing. One last joke, one last wink to the audience, or if nothing else, one last rhetorical question followed by another glimpse of a completely different action set piece. With the action typically sandwiched between the setup and punchline, this final gag is the studio's cherry on top. It can also be the cheesiest moment of all, when successful franchises take a victory lap, already seeing the piles of money coming their way. Man of Steel treated us to...
What's the S stand for?
And...
How about...
And once again, Iron Man...
We do need backup.
That's your department.
you, my boy.
And Thor.
All yours.
Anyone else?
Let's not forget a couple of years before, Batman Begins gave us
He's here.
Who? The Batman.
and the iconic line,
Guy dresses up like a bat. Clearly has issues.
the same happens with horror movie trailers starting silently before one last jump scare to get the squeamish screaming. But it's action comedies that get the worst of the deal, since it's usually one of the movie's best jokes that gets the spoiler treatment for one last laugh. Those are the most common tricks and conventions used when it comes to cutting a trailer, but do you know of any we left out? Can you think of the best trailers to buck the trend? Let us know what you think in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more Screen Rant videos like this one.